What if everything you know about time is an illusion? What if the ticking of the clock, the passing of days, and even the very idea of past, present, and future were nothing more than a grand deception, one that humanity has blindly accepted for centuries? Imagine this. You are dreaming. In the dream, years seem to pass. You live an entire lifetime, growing older, experiencing love, loss, and transformation. But then, suddenly, you wake up. And in waking, you realize that what felt like decades was merely a few minutes in real time. Now, ask yourself, what if the reality you're living in right now is no different? For centuries, mystics, sages, and even modern physicists have whispered a strange and unsettling truth. Time is not what it seems. The linear progression we take for granted may be nothing more than a mental construct, a convenient illusion woven into our consciousness to make sense of reality. But if time isn't real in the way we believe, what does this mean for you? Does it mean that your past is still happening? That your future already exists? That enlightenment, transformation, or even immortality could be hidden within the folds of a timeless now? In this video, we will journey through ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science to unravel the mysteries of time. We'll explore why sages across cultures, from the Vedic rishis to Zen masters, believed time was an illusion, how modern quantum physics is beginning to confirm their insights, and most importantly, how understanding this secret can change your life forever. Stay with me until the end, because once you grasp the true nature of time, you will never see reality the same way again. Throughout history, mystics and philosophers have attempted to pull back the veil of illusion and expose time for what it truly is. What they discovered is something so profound, so paradigm-shattering, that most people, even today, struggle to comprehend it. Let us begin in the East, where the concept of Maya in Hindu philosophy describes the world as an illusion, including time itself. According to the Advaita Vedanta school of thought, past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and our perception of linear time is merely a limitation of the human mind. The ancient rishis taught that through deep meditation, one could transcend this illusion and experience the eternal now, a state beyond time. Buddhism too offers a striking perspective. The Zen masters speak of satori, a sudden enlightenment where all notions of past and future dissolve, revealing an infinite, ever-present moment. The Dhammapada, one of the most revered Buddhist scriptures, states, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." But this is not just a call to mindfulness. It is an invitation to perceive reality as it truly is, timeless. Travel westward, and we find similar revelations among the great philosophers of ancient Greece. Parmenides, the pre-Socratic sage, argued that time is an illusion and that change itself is impossible. He believed that what we perceive as motion or progression is merely a trick of human perception. His student, Zeno of Elea, created paradoxes to demonstrate this idea, such as the famous Achilles and the tortoise, which suggests that motion, and by extension time, is logically impossible. And then there is Plato, who described time as a mere reflection of eternity, a shadow cast by a deeper, unchanging reality. He proposed that what we perceive as time is simply a fragmented view of the eternal realm of forms, where everything exists all at once. But the most striking confirmation of these ancient insights comes not from philosophy or mysticism alone, but from modern physics. Albert Einstein, with his theory of relativity, shattered the classical view of time. He demonstrated that time is not a fixed, universal constant. It is relative, bending and stretching depending on gravity and velocity. In essence, time behaves like a physical dimension, not a flowing river. Even more unsettling is the block universe theory, a concept derived from Einstein's work. It suggests that past, present, and future all coexist simultaneously, like a vast cosmic book where every page exists at once. Our perception of moving through time is merely the way our consciousness experiences it. And then comes quantum physics, which takes this even further. Experiments such as the double-slit experiment suggest that time might not just be an illusion, but something even stranger, something influenced by the act of observation itself. Some physicists now propose that the past can be altered by future choices, a concept eerily reminiscent of ancient mystical teachings. But if all of this is true, what does it mean for you? If time is an illusion, how can we escape its grip? And most importantly, how can this knowledge transform your life? If time is an illusion, then why does it feel so real? We wake up in the morning, move through our daily routines, watch the sun rise and set, and measure our lives in years, decades, and milestones. Our very biology seems tied to time, our bodies age, our memories accumulate, and the past appears to be something fixed and untouchable. But what if all of this is simply the result of perception? What if time only exists because of how our minds interpret reality? To understand this, let's use an analogy, a film reel. Imagine an old movie reel, where each frame is a still image. When the film runs through a projector, the images appear to move, creating the illusion of time passing. But in reality, every single frame exists at the same time, each one already printed on the reel, waiting to be illuminated. Now, what if your life, everything you have ever experienced and everything you ever will, already exists, like a completed film? Your consciousness, much like the projector, moves through these frames, giving you the illusion of past, present, and future. This is precisely what Einstein's theory of relativity and the block universe theory suggest, that time is not something that flows, but rather a dimension, much like length, width, and height. If you were to step outside of time, much like stepping outside of the movie reel, you would see all events existing simultaneously. But let's go deeper. Consider dreams. Have you ever had a dream where what felt like hours or days took place in just a few minutes? Or perhaps a dream where time was completely non-linear, where you jumped from one event to another, bypassing the normal sequence of time? What if waking life is structured in a similar way, only we are so deeply immersed in it that we fail to notice? Mystics throughout history have described states of consciousness where time dissolves entirely. Some who have had near-death experiences report seeing their entire life, past, present, and future, at once, as if it were a single tapestry woven together. Others who engage in deep meditation or mystical practices describe a state where everything is happening now, where past and future collapse into a singular eternal moment. The Taoists call this the unchanging Tao. The Hindus refer to it as the Akashic records, where all events are eternally inscribed. The Buddhists teach that time is merely a mental construct, one that dissolves when the mind transcends its attachments. But if all of time exists at once, then how do we experience change? Why do we remember the past but not the future? Why does time appear to flow? This is where your consciousness comes into play. The reason you perceive time as moving forward is because your awareness is bound to a single perspective, one that moves sequentially, much like a needle tracing the grooves of a vinyl record. But the record itself exists in its entirety, complete from beginning to end. Your perception, however, is locked into a narrow band, forcing you to experience each moment as a progression rather than a whole. This has profound implications, not just philosophically, but spiritually. If time is an illusion, then what does that mean for your past regrets or future anxieties? What does it mean for manifestation, destiny, or even free will? In the next section, we will unravel these mysteries further and reveal how understanding the illusion of time can change your entire approach to life. If time is an illusion, then how much control do you truly have over your reality? This is where things become even more fascinating and even more unsettling. Because if past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, then it means that your future self already exists just as much as your past self does. But more importantly, it suggests that the choices you make now may be influencing both the past and the future in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Let's go back to modern physics for a moment. One of the most bizarre discoveries in quantum mechanics is the delayed choice experiment, an extension of the famous double-slit experiment. In this mind-bending study, physicists found that a decision made in the present can change how a particle behaved in the past, as if the past itself was not fixed, but malleable. Think about the implications of this. If time were truly linear, then nothing you do now could possibly affect the past. But this experiment suggests otherwise. It suggests that past and future are intertwined in ways that defy logic. Some physicists now propose that your future choices may already be shaping your present reality, just as your present choices shape your past. Now, let's bring this back to spirituality. Many mystical traditions have long taught that reality is fluid, that the past is not set in stone, and that the future is not something waiting to unfold, but something that already exists and can be accessed. Take the Akashic Records, an ancient concept found in Hinduism and Theosophy, which describes a cosmic archive where all thoughts, actions, and events are eternally recorded. Mystics claim that by reaching altered states of consciousness, one can access not only past lives, but possible future timelines as well. Or consider the Tibetan Buddhist belief in Tulku reincarnation, where enlightened masters claim to choose their future rebirths with full awareness. How is this possible, unless time is far more fluid than we assume? Even in Western esotericism, we find similar ideas. The Hermetic teachings, written thousands of years ago, state, "Time is but a circle, and within its turning, all things occur at once." Some interpretations of the Kabbalah suggest that enlightened beings can move outside of time, influencing events in ways that ordinary perception cannot grasp. So, if time is an illusion, and if past and future coexist, then here's the question you must ask yourself. What future are you aligning with? Because if all versions of the future exist simultaneously, then it means you are constantly shifting which reality you experience based on your current state of consciousness. The choices you make now don't just determine what happens next. They determine which version of time you step into. This is why intention is so powerful. If you focus on fear, regret, and limitation, you lock yourself into a version of reality where those energies dominate. But if you shift your awareness to higher possibilities, to love, wisdom, and expansion, you step into a future that reflects those energies instead. So, is your future already written? Yes and no. All versions of the future exist, but the one you experience depends entirely on where you place your attention now. And this is where the power of understanding time becomes truly life-changing. In the next section, we will explore how you can apply this knowledge to your daily life, how you can break free from the illusion of linear time, and use this wisdom to accelerate your spiritual evolution. Now that we've uncovered the illusion of time, the question becomes, how can you use this knowledge to transform your life? Understanding that time is not linear, but a vast, interconnected field of possibilities means that your power lies not in the past or future, but in the eternal present moment. Mystics, sages, and even modern scientists agree. The now is the only point of true power. But how do you access this power? How do you break free from the illusion of time and align yourself with the highest version of your reality? Let's explore 3 practical techniques. 1. Collapse the illusion of the past. One of the most limiting beliefs we hold is that the past is fixed, that our history defines us. But if time is an illusion, then your past is not something set in stone. It is something that exists only in your mind. Here's an experiment. Sit in stillness and recall a memory from your past, one that brings up negative emotions. Now shift your perception. Instead of seeing it as something that happened to you, see it as something that happened for you. Look for the lesson, the hidden wisdom within that experience. Now, imagine rewriting that memory, changing the emotions attached to it, altering how you interpret it. This may sound simple, but it is profoundly powerful. Your mind does not distinguish between real memories and imagined ones. If you consistently change how you feel about your past, you're literally rewiring your timeline, shifting yourself into a parallel reality where that past no longer affects you in the same way. This is what deep forgiveness and healing truly are. Not just emotional relief, but a literal rewriting of your energetic timeline. 2. Access the future you want. If every possible version of your future already exists, then the version of you that has already achieved your highest potential is not separate from you. It is simply waiting for you to align with it. A powerful technique to tap into this truth is the future self visualization. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Imagine standing before a doorway of light. As you step through, you enter a space where time does not exist. Before you stands the highest version of yourself, the enlightened, fully realized you. Observe this version of yourself. How do they stand? What do they know that you don't? What wisdom do they have to share? Now, merge with them, feel yourself becoming them. Absorb their confidence, their knowledge, their energy. By doing this regularly, you're collapsing the gap between present and future, aligning yourself with the version of reality where you have already succeeded. 3. Master the eternal present. The deepest secret of time is this. The more you focus on the past or future, the more you remain trapped in the illusion of time itself. The great sages from Buddha to Jesus all pointed to one truth. The present moment is all there is. Try this. Right now, take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Listen to the sounds around you. Become fully aware of this very moment. For just a second, let go of thoughts of past and future. In that instant, you're free. Free from karma, free from suffering, free from the illusion of time itself. This is why deep meditation is so powerful. It trains the mind to exist outside of time. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the more you transcend the illusion of limitation and step into a state of pure awareness, where all timelines, all possibilities are accessible. The truth about your reality. You're not a prisoner of time. You're not bound by your past, nor are you waiting for the future to happen. All realities exist now, and your consciousness is the key to shifting between them. The question is, which reality will you choose? Now that we've explored the nature of time and how it shapes our perception of reality, you may be left with a profound sense of wonder, or perhaps even a deep sense of unease. If time is not what we think it is, then what does that mean for our lives? What is the real meaning of time, if it is an illusion? And more importantly, what are we truly capable of if we can transcend that illusion? The answer is this: you are limitless. Every choice you make ripples through all of time, because past, present, and future are not separate. They are interconnected, fluid, and alive. The moment you realize that you're not confined to the ticking of the clock, your potential to create, to heal, and to evolve becomes infinite. You're living not in a straight line, but in a multi-dimensional field, where every possible version of your reality already exists. The key to stepping into the highest timeline The life you truly desire is awareness. By awakening to the truth of time, you reclaim your power and align with your highest self. The most profound secret of all is that you are already there. Your future, your highest potential, and your eternal self are already existing in a parallel dimension. It's not a matter of waiting for them to unfold. It's a matter of choosing right now to step into them. So, I challenge you, what reality will you choose today? Will you continue to live as though time is a rigid structure, bound by rules and limitations? Or will you break free from the illusion and create a life that reflects the timeless power within you? The answer is within you. Right now, take a moment, breathe deeply, and realize you are the creator of your own time. Thank you for exploring these mysteries with me. If you feel called to dive deeper, begin with the exercises we discussed, because every moment is your doorway to a new reality. And when you step outside the illusion of time, you step into your truest, most powerful self.